What happens when a global sport suddenly collides with a global conflict? Not a mechanical failure, not a weather delay, but a geopolitical crisis powerful enough to stop one of the world's biggest racing championships. Good evening, I'm Emma Collins with PopWire. Two Formula One races have been pulled from the calendar overnight. Not because of weather, not because of a scheduling conflict, because of war. And it raises a question the sport has never had to answer quite like this. What happens when the world's most global championship collides with a geopolitical crisis it simply cannot control? For the past decade, Formula One has been aggressively expanding into the Middle East. Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. These aren't just race weekends anymore. They are billion-dollar commercial partnerships that form the financial backbone of the modern F1 calendar. But escalating regional conflict involving Iran has now forced the sport's leadership to officially cancel the April races in both Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, citing immediate safety concerns for teams, personnel, and logistics. The impact goes far beyond two missing weekends. Middle Eastern hosting fees are among the most lucrative in the entire sport. Sponsorship deals, broadcast schedules, and regional partnerships have all been disrupted overnight. For drivers like Lewis Hamilton and teams locked in championship battles, losing 2 rounds from a 24-race season changes competitive strategy entirely. Points calculations, momentum, and season planning, all of it has to be recalculated in a matter of days. This raises an important question about what was happening behind the scenes before this decision was made. Formula One leadership had to weigh not just sporting considerations, but operational realities. Freight movement, personnel safety, and the very real possibility of further military escalation in the region. In the end, they chose safety over commercial opportunity. But the bigger concern now is what this reveals about the sport's entire global model. Formula One built its future on regions it does not politically control, and this moment has exposed that vulnerability clearly. What this means for the industry is significant. The real story here is not about 2 canceled races. It is about the limits of globalization in professional sports. No brand is powerful enough and no market lucrative enough to override the realities of geopolitical instability. Formula One markets itself as a worldwide spectacle, but that spectacle depends entirely on a stable world. When that stability fractures, the calendar fractures with it. Looking ahead, Formula One may attempt to reschedule the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian races later in the season if conditions stabilize. For now, the calendar carries a 5-week gap, the biggest disruption the sport has seen in years. There are already indications that leadership will begin reassessing how much the championship depends on geopolitically sensitive regions. Future calendars may need contingency venues and backup plans built in from the start. The Qatar and Abu Dhabi races later this season could become important tests of whether Formula One can safely return to the region at all. Formula One wants to race everywhere, but the world does not always cooperate. And the sport's biggest opponent this season may not be found on any track. It may be found on the map. For now, that's the latest on this story. I'm Emma Collins, PopWire.